Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. My pleasure to be here to present our work here. Actually, our truck is right outside the venue here. You can see it. And it's a unique development. It's using the hydrogen power, so it doesn't burn diesel. It's a zero emission. Only byproduct produces water, and you can drink it. It's very clean energy truck. And by the way, it's also a smart truck. It's using the autonomous technology. So the why we bring the truck here, because we think that truck fits very well about this future mineral forum, because we believe the future of the mining, number one, has to be sustainable, right? And we want to reduce the carbon emissions. And number two, we want to be more safer. So we want to have a less accident. So that truck, by using the autonomous technology, is automatically keeping the lane distance, keeping the driving distance. It doesn't go to the rear end with the front truck, so reduce accident. And also to some extent, in some remote area where people don't want to go to work, we can use autonomous driving to hold the materials. So that's why we think the truck can be used for this mining industry. I'd like to start with my presentation right now. So we would like to hear your feedback. To our understanding, we think the carbon emission from mining industry account for 2 to 3% of the global CO2 emissions. Maybe not a big number, but every percent count in the emission reduction. And also for the mining specifically, there's several reasons we emitting the CO2 here. And for example, we use a diesel-powered machinery to dig in mines, right? So that's when the mining operation, where the mining operation emitting the CO2. And also, processing and smelting, you also burning the fossil fuel, burning natural gas. That's another resource, another source to producing the CO2. For example, I know in Saudi Arabia, there's recently a big project that Aramco, which is our investor, work with Bao steel manufacturer in China. They make a JV in Saudi Arabia to produce the steel. And that process, depending on how do you produce the steel, that can produce a lot of carbon emissions. That's a part of the processing emission. The last part, which I'm going to into, is the transportation. We think there are two types of truck in the mining industry. One is a very big truck. You may hauling maybe say 100 ton, 300 ton, very big truck. That inside the mine, go slower, the kind of made by Caterpillar or big guys, and those are one of the truck. But there's also other truck, smaller size, which haul this mine, the material, to the smelter, maybe another 50 kilometer away, that goes through the open public road. So those trucks will be road legal, smaller vehicles. But when I say small, they're still 50, 100 tons. So that's something we're going to go into the market. So we think that part of the transportation emission will probably account for 10 to 20% for your carbon emission for the mining. So depend on where you are and what's your strategy. I think the many leading mining companies in the world right now setting their sustainability goal for the future. And so if you want to reducing your carbon emissions for your operation, I think you need to account how many carbon emitted from your truck. And I can give you a simple number here. For every diesel truck, for every road legal diesel truck, 49 ton heavy loaded truck, we're probably emitting roughly 100 ton CO2 every year per truck. So depending on how many trucks you have here, you can easily calculate how many CO2 you are emitting every year. And also, so we can offer the proper solution for that work. Can we play the song here?
Hyperview truck is a very unique development. It's a development that aims to
maybe there's, let's wait a little bit.
Today, carbon emissions from heavy-duty trucking make about 25% of total mobility emissions. The Hyperview truck is powered by hydrogen, hence it...
Hold on 1 second. We are solving the technical problem here. So basically, this truck is we work together with Saudi Aramco, and Aramco being our investor on this project. So this truck is a unique development that uses hydrogen and autonomous technology together, and we actually drove the truck to the Riyadh to attend the show here, and so you can see this is a very sleek-looking truck here. It's designed for the public road mining, and because it's using power by the hydrogen, so it doesn't produce any emission. So only product from the truck is water. The way the hydrogen truck works is essentially it's an electrified truck. It's powered by electricity, but different than the battery electric. It doesn't have a big battery to provide the electricity. Rather, we using hydrogen, go through the fuel cell system, producing electricity on board, and then drive the truck. So by this way, we can use a lot of energy because hydrogen has a lot more energy than the battery electric. So that truck is very good for heavy loading and long distance driving. So when we say heavy loading, it fits very well to the mining industry. You know, we see the biggest truck always come from mining. So we think one day the mining industry, when we try to decarbonize, we definitely think that hydrogen will be one of the feasible options. And so speaking of this truck's unique development here, if we can summarize, we think there's several specific things for the trucking here. Number one is an autonomous solution. So when we say autonomous, I think we provide value. We have two values here. The number one value is the safety. Our system is automatic keeping the vehicle distant from vehicle. You know, so say you drive the truck and you look at your phone and you get distracted. You may run into the front vehicle here. But in this truck, that will not happen because we have a radar, we have a sensor in front of the truck. We monitor distance for you. So if you get into too close, we'll brake for you. So that's the number one. We reduce accident for the truck accident. And number two, this truck can be upgraded to the full autonomous operation. You know, autonomous operation may be challenging on the public road because on real world public road, there's too many vehicles on the road here and a very complex situation on the road traffic. So it's difficult to be full autonomous. However, for mining, we think that's really an opportunity here because mining, where mining happens, is usually happen on a remote area where there's nobody work on the truck, where nobody drive on the road here. So that perfect environment to drive an autonomous solution on the mining road here. So, and also potentially, we also work with other partner here. We develop technology with one leading driver in the front, with several trucks following. So that can be automated train, like a road train on the road here. So I think that all open the opportunity for the mining industry. So that's why we think autonomous will have a big usage on the mining industry. And the number two is the zero emission. So different than the battery electric approach here, we provide the zero emission, but without the range anxiety. So you don't need to worry about the range. You don't have to charging several hours before back to operation here. Because by talking to the mining operator here, we understand many mines operate on 24/7 basis. You know, they operate most of the time of the day and night. They probably only leave half hour in the midnight to refuel the diesel equipment, whatever, to service the equipment. And many times they want to continue operation here. So in this case, for our truck, refuel hydrogen only takes 10 minutes, so that the equipment can back to work right away here. And but if you use a battery electric, you probably have to charging for 3 hours, 4 hours before back to the work. So that's another thing here. I think we think the hydrogen really suitable for the mining industry. And but you may have a question about where we get hydrogen, and I have a slide for you, and we can explore a little bit on the option here. And the number three is about the user experience. Maybe this is not about too much for the trucking for the mining industry. However, for the road truck here, for long distance haul road truck, because our driver live inside the truck for 7 days, they make truck a home here. So it's important to make a truck driver feel a little bit more comfortable. So that's why we upgrade the interior. We make the truck very smart. So make the very good living room for the long distance hauling driver here. But end of the day here, you know, the reason we provide a lot of opportunity feature on the truck, autonomous, digital cockpit, energy management, hydrogen powered solutions, they're all because of the software. That thing I want to set the stage here for the truck here. We want to convert the truck fundamentally from a mechanical truck to a software-defined digital truck. We think that's very important because once we make a digital truck, we provide a lot of opportunity and the function upgrade features to truck here. I believe the mining industry also go to the digitalized age too. You may have a lot of mining operation management of software you want to run on the truck here. You want to know your logistics. You want to know your mining progress. You want to monitor the safety of the truck. All the features can be provided by the software features. So that's very important. So to make your truck, it's upgradable. It has a strong computer. It can provide a lot of software capability here. That's all implemented in this truck. There are several key features on the truck here. So number one, it produces zero emission for the trucking. And that's good for the sustainability for the trucking mining industry. And that truck, as a standard configuration, the one outside the show here, carry 59 kilogram hydrogen. What does it mean for you? So our truck consumes 8 kilogram hydrogen per every 100 kilometer driving range here. So for that nearly 60 kilogram hydrogen here, it's good for 700 kilometer driving without any refuel here. And if you refuel for 10 minutes, you drive another 700 kilometer driving. So that's very long distance driving. And all our trucks come with a standard automated feature. So that will provide a lot of labor saving and active safety features. A few words about the truck design here. The truck is designed to be an aerodynamic shape. The reason for that is we want to reduce air resistance while driving. This may not be very important for the mining truck, for slow driving mining truck, because your speed is not very high. You don't spend a lot of energy on pushing through the air here. But for the highway truck, if you drive the truck on the open public road, because the truck needs to push the air away to drive, so make an aerodynamic shape here is very important to reduce the air resistance. So that's something we put on design here. So this is the interior looking for the truck here. And we designed the truck to be all the digital cockpit here and single seat driving, because we don't think you ever need a second driver anymore when have this automated feature. So this is very modern-like the truck here. I think many truck drivers will fight for the job here if you have this truck on your mining work. So. And we have a lot of sensor around truck here. That's how the truck supporting the autonomous feature. So we have a LiDAR on the top, we have camera, we have radar, we have a lot of sensors surrounding the truck here. So that gives the truck 360-degree view of the surrounding environment. So by those features, so truck knows the surrounding very well, provide autonomous capability. I summarize this very simple comparison with the EV truck here. And with the hydrogen truck and the battery electric truck, the hydrogen truck is very good for heavy loading. So if you haul very heavy mining materials, hydrogen truck provide a much better performance than battery electric truck. And also for the operation temperature, if you ever drive an electric car, the electric car, the driving range shrink when in the winter conditions because you use the air condition to heat. But that's not the case for hydrogen truck. Hydrogen truck produces energy, same amount of energy regardless of the environmental temperature. So you drive the truck in a very cold mining area that maintains same driving range. So that's the beauty for the hydrogen truck here. That doesn't shrink the range for the driving the cold temperature. I think the world, there's many mining industry happen in the cold area, in North Pole, in South Pole, in any cold area here. The hydrogen truck will be your friend. It doesn't affect your performance on the cold weathers. And also, for the refuel operation, that's very good part for the hydrogen truck. The refuel hydrogen truck, just like a refuel diesel fuel, only takes 10 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. Very good for the 24/7 continual operation for the mining. So it doesn't need hours, long hour charging here. And for refuel station infrastructure, so for refuel hydrogen, it's only a standard equipment, a 35 megapascal, 70 megapascal system, which are readily available today. Actually, for this country, for Saudi Arabia, we already have several leading customers in Saudi here, DHL, Aramco, Sadavco. We're going to set up the refuel station for them. We're going to use the exactly same refuel station for mining. So that's a mature technology and doesn't require anything to be developed. So a few words about the hydrogen. I put these slides up because I think many people will have a question about how where to get hydrogen. So actually, the hydrogen is not a strange stuff. The industry has been producing hydrogen for many years, and you can use the gas to convert the hydrogen. for example, natural gas. That's how the Aramco produce hydrogen for years. And that's what we call the blue hydrogen. And also, you can use the solar panel to produce the electricity, and go through electrolyzer, produce hydrogen. That's how we call the green hydrogen. And also, for many coal mines, there's many, working with coal mine, so the coke oven gas. The majority component in the coke oven gas is hydrogen. So you just need to simply add some purification process. You can extract hydrogen from the coke oven gas. So what I mean here is there's a plenty way to produce hydrogen and properly on site for you. You don't have to carry hydrogen far away from the external environment. You may likely produce hydrogen on site, produce your own fuel on site, support the mining operation. I think that can be very good for you. Maybe a save cost on future because you don't have to buy diesel from outside. Also good for environment because you don't produce any CO2 for the truck operation. Those are our existing customer for the Saudi Arabia here. We work with Aramco, DHL, Resi Global, Sadavco, Ajmil, Nahadi. All those probably your familiar name in Saudi here. We also have a European customer, Highland. Although also we have an Asia customer. So globally, the hydrogen truck is becoming more and more popular. And hopefully the mining industry can try this truck too. So I believe this will provide a lot of value for the mining industry. And those are our eco-partner for the hydrogen system. So who's going to provide the hydrogen fuel? Who go to the refuel station? And also for the vehicle leasing service, and also sales and service network. So those can support the mining industry also. So there's a small video from Aramco that's supporting this activity, but probably there's a sound issue here, but don't worry about it. So hopefully we already made clear about this truck introduction. And so last word, you are all invited to see our truck outside. It's right outside the building here. We have our technical staff here. We can demonstrate the truck for you. So it's a very good, very beautiful truck. You cannot miss it. So I would like to save a few minutes for the questions, and I don't know if anybody has a question about the hydrogen, about CO2 emission from the truck, and also any other question I can answer. So thank you very much. Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Frank Alloguet from Cosmodal Energy. Just a quick one. Do you think that this technology can actually be used for all the other heavy machinery on the mine, like dump trucks? Can it be adjusted or adapted to those type of equipment to further save on emissions?
I think the answer is yes. Actually, today's mining equipment, is actually the principle is a diesel generator producing the electricity and power the equipment. And this truck is the same. We use the hydrogen to produce the electricity to power the truck. So we just need to replace the diesel genset on the equipment. We can use this technology. So what I mean here is we should be able to converting a lot of your machinery to the hydrogen powered as well. But the reason we bring the truck is because that's our existing product. But for future, we can talk about that part too. So.
Thank you. Tasneem El-Kufaishi from Ma'aden. Absolutely loved your comparison between hydrogen and electric trucks. I think the operational cost is something that you didn't quite touch on. I'm very interested to see how you compared your operating costs, including life of truck and the like, between diesel, electric, and hydrogen, to justify the business case.
Sure. You mean to compare the cost between the hydrogen, electric, and diesel, perhaps?
So whole of life cost, operational cost, replacement costs, spare
the
parts,
total cost ownership over years,
correct.
Right?
So if I was a business or if I was to go back to Ma'aden to justify deploying such technology, I would need to consider the upfront capital costs, but also the operational costs. And we do operate in harsh environments, as you would appreciate.
Sure. So here, what I'm thinking, I am not an expert on the mining industry, so I don't know your total cost composition. However, I give you an example on the highway trucking. So for our typical, the logistic customer, their yearly cost consists of the vehicle cost, the fuel cost, the road toll, and the maintenance. And I can tell you the fuel costs account for 20 to 30% of their year cost. I think that maybe on the mining industry, you guys also spend a lot on fuel. That probably is a significant cost. So from that perspective, I think that we can compare the hydrogen with electricity and with the diesel. I think that in this country, in Saudi, it's a little bit unfair competition because diesel is heavily subsidized, right? But we see the diesel price going up and up gradually. So if you compare, say we did a break-even analysis on the road truck already. So with the diesel price about, say, 80 US dollar cents per liter, which is international global price. So as long as the hydrogen price become $2 per kilogram, that will become break-even. And I can give the number. Say, I know in Saudi, in this country, we have ample sunshine. We have a lot of sun powers. The electricity price from the renewable energy from the solar panel is 1 kilowatt is 1 US cents per kilowatt hour. So, and every 50 kilowatt hour power generation goes through 1 kilogram hydrogen. So that equivalent means roughly half US dollar convert to become 1 kilogram hydrogen. And for our road vehicles, as long as it's $2 per kilogram, we already break even. Now we think that Saudi has the potential to produce a far less cheap hydrogen in Saudi because we have a very good sun resource here. So I think you're from MAD, okay. So ma'am, so if you don't mind, after a meeting we can have your contact, work with your team, operation team. We can get your existing the calculation sheet for your current operation. We can calculate potentially how much you're going to pay for the hydrogen powered system. I think we can make a competitive offer. So, thank you. Any question about the hydrogen, about the truck, and about the autonomous? Yes, please.
Hello. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Lucas Bertin. I work for EPC Group, a drilling and blasting company. I'm an ESG specialist. I was wondering about the GHG emissions that you spoke about. It is true that for hydrogen we have zero emission on scope 1, but we do have on scope 3, as you explained, on manufacturing the hydrogen. Have you performed the comparison in scopes 1, 2, and 3, both comparing your truck to a traditional truck, just to see the difference?
I'm not expert on the scope 1, 2, 3 classification thing, okay, but I'd like to learn from you after the meeting, okay. But I can tell you, the manufacturer of this truck is pretty much close to the manufacturer traditional diesel truck. The manufacturing process is the same. The beauty use the truck is you don't have emission during the usage because you use the hydrogen, right? So you produce no carbon emissions. And by the way, you should be able to earn the carbon credit by using the hydrogen truck because other guys produce emission, right? So if you can reduce your emission footprint by using the truck, you should be able to get a carbon credit. Depending on where you are, that also worth some money. So.
Sorry, just one other comment. It's just that it depends on how you're manufacturing your hydrogen, because if you're manufacturing with coal, for example, energy, it will be very high in GHG emissions. So when you take into account the scope 3, it can result even worse than using an electric vehicle or a traditional vehicle. But we can talk about it later.
Yes. Let's talk about it later. Just one more word to that. So, we just talked about the manufacturing process for the truck. There's also manufacturing process for hydrogen, right? Depending on how you produce hydrogen, right? If you use the solar panel produce hydrogen, that's probably the greenest way, right? But if you use natural gas to produce hydrogen, unless you use the carbon capture, you have to emit CO2 also. So depending on how you use it. But I will talk to you after the meeting. Sir?
Yes, I haven't been from the beginning of your speech, maybe it was in your presentation. I was wondering about the weight of the truck, because in mining industry is simply saying moving rocks. So the total weight, it counts, looking at the tires and all equipment. So how this truck differs from the normal trucks in a sense of weight?
Let me put a simple analogy here. You can imagine just like you have a diesel truck, you replace the engine with a fuel cell system. And so the only difference is about the engine weight and the fuel cell system weight, right? So if my fuel cell system weight is heavier than engine, so your truck weight heavier. But if my fuel cell system is lighter than the diesel engine, the total weight will be less, right? But I want to know where you come from, sir. So because for me, if I sell the truck to a logistics company, they normally ask me for lighter vehicle because they can hold more stuff. Is that your question? Do you want me to make a lighter vehicle body? You can hold more mines?
I'm just asking about how many rocks we can put more in the truck.
Oh, I see.
Durable.
Okay.
To carry more.
Yeah. So you care the same thing about the logistics company. So you want to carry more goods on the same truck, right? So in mining industry, right? So we have to specifically work on the mining case here. But for the road truck, right now we are on par with the diesel truck. So we don't spend more weight on the vehicle. We want to carry more stuff for the customer. But for mining, we will do the same. And just give you some number here. The tractor head for the road vehicle, the one outside is weighing 10 tons, with the trailer weight about 8 tons. So total, the tractor head and the trailer is about 18 tons. So if you haul 49 tons goods, you roughly can carry another 30 tons for the payload. But we understand for the mining industry, usually you have a heavier load, right? You are a bigger truck, so we can design specifically also. So I have to know your requirements. So, thank you.